guys, welcome back to our U Media podcast for the week. So it's Black History Month and it is February. And to kick off, the month of February, we're going to be talking about Black History Month.
Yerp.
Yeah, so so let's go around. Let's introduce ourselves. Let's start. Ladies first.
Hi, I'm Tanavia.
Okay.
Yo, it's your boy Lawman, aka Mellow of the Dash. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nightcore Dash.
We doing self plugs? We doing self plugs? I bet.
Person I can't
Bet.
take anywhere just from you doing that.
But what's up? It's TRE, one of the media members, suing the AIDS out. But also follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Fat Majin Boo. Fat _ Majin _ Boo on Instagram. Fat _ Majin Boo on Twitter.
Okay.
We doing plugs, might as well.
If that's the case,
Driving.
what's up? It's your boy Kimani. I've been an old Umeda member for a good while. That's all I gotta say. If you're gonna follow me, follow me. Scarface 12 on Instagram. Replace the A's with V's, and that's it.
That's a lot.
Scarface 12.
That's a lot.
What you
Scarface
said, Majin Buu.
SCV.
All right. So guys, let's kick it off. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Let me see what you guys know.
What's up?
Since it's Black History Month. All right.
I ain't prepared.
Who was the first African American Major League Baseball player?
Jesse Owens.
No.
A, was it Larry Doby?
Oh,
No.
it's not Jesse Owens.
B, was it Aaron Banks?
Jackie Robinson? No.
Wait. C, Statch Page, or D, Jackie Robinson?
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. Okay,
I was looking
okay,
confused for a
okay,
second.
okay.
I was about to say,
Who are
ooh.
all these other
Ooh.
people?
All right,
See,
cool.
I know Black History.
I know Black history.
All right, cool.
I
So,
know
all right,
Black
glad
history.
You guys, all right, we got okay, one more real quick. Okay, the next one will be what was the first sit-in at the segregation lunch counter?
What was it?
Where was the first
Oh.
sit-in at the segregated lunch counter? Was it A, Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh,
B,
Alabama.
Jacksonville, Mississippi? C, North Carolina, Greensburg? Or South Carolina, Charleston?
I would say North Carolina.
North Carolina, going North Carolina, going North Carolina. I say, what did I say?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, anyone? 45, 35, 45, 55.
45.
Okay,
Just
so
about.
Choices again?
It was in North Carolina.
Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, North Carolina, or South Carolina?
South.
South Carolina? Okay.
Yeah, South Carolina.
All right, we're going to go with South. We got more for South. No, it was Greensburg, North Carolina.
How?
Because that's that's
That's
like
where
where
it's happening. Okay, cool.
Oh.
So let's get into it. That was just some trivia questions, to get the juice flowing, So, let's just get into it. So I want to get you guys' opinion as, a younger generation, the upcoming generation. How do you guys feel about Black History Month?
Define Phil.
Honestly, the way how I feel about Black History Month now, honest to God, I honestly forgot that Black History Month was this month.
Shame.
But why is
But
that?
the only reason why I forget about it is because you don't really hear anybody talking about it or celebrating that much, really.
Unless we're in school. Whew,
That's it.
a
That's
whole
the only
month.
time- literally, all the other times I was inside school, that's the only times you hear the teachers talk about it. And the only reason why they talk about it is
Because it's
they
have
tell
to.
They tell you
Yeah,
to
of
write
course.
essays about it. They tell you just talk about it. And the times where they do talk about it, they only bring up the few black members that everybody already knows, like Dr. Martin Luther King,
Rosa Parks.
Malcolm X,
Mhm.
Jackie Robinson. They
Rosa
always
Parks,
mention the
know that.
same guys, the same people. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong about that, but they don't bring up everybody. Like they don't inform you about all the other members that made Black history.
Or other significant other people who also did like cultural impacts. Like some created like the Super Soaker. One made like a whole bunch of events with peanut butter. Other
And
ones did
what?
slip
There
inside.
was a woman who I did an essay on, because even back when I was in high school, I had to do an essay about Black History Month,
Mhm.
and she gave me once again Malcolm X. I've been doing Malcolm X since elementary school.
You know
So-
about Malcolm X? He was an angry black man.
So, so
All right, guys. What? Okay.
So and I asked her, I said, is there any way possibly that I could change my person? She said, yeah. I did my information on a woman named Patricia Irabath. She was literally the first woman to help people with blindness.
Yeah.
She said she did everything. She was a boss, but a lot of people, I was talking about her in class, a lot of people didn't know who she was at all. And I even said to the teacher, I said, if you're going to teach us Black History Month, show us people who we don't know. Because from elementary school to middle school, we're hearing the same exact people. That's the only reason how I feel about Black History Month. If you're going to teach it and inform us.
So do you feel like it's overshadowed by like the icons that made an impact, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X? Do you feel like it's overshadowed by?
It's overshadowed by them because everybody else feels like if it wasn't just for those main people, Black people would still be slavers. And don't get me wrong, they did make a giant impact when it came to us being free completely, but they weren't the only people. They had other people as well too.
Well, they probably was the pathway for that.
Yeah,
in a certain sense, they made the path, in that way. Because think about it, probably if Dr. King didn't do what he did or Malcolm X didn't stand for what they believed in,
We'd still been in the same situation.
We may have been in somebody else. I feel like somebody else would have took that place, but they stepped up at that time.
Which is true.
So let's dig deeper into it. Since we're talking about Black icons, what are some Black icons that you felt that stuck out to you, as far as had an impact in your life or had an impact in the community?
Kanye West. Not right
Get
now.
out.
Not right now.
Get
Not
out.
right now.
You
But
get out.
not right
Okay,
now.
wait. Let them. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
But
So,
like, dog, Kanye West, like, even though the things he's saying right now are ridiculous, he did have a huge cultural impact on music and producing rise. Because when he first came into the scene, he was making music with 808s, thumps, snares, kicks, all of that no one else used before. It's because
Heartbreaks.
yeah, a classic 808s and Heartbreak. That was like a classic album, like, and because of that, many people and many rappers say that it was because of that album.
Was a classic.
It was because of those albums that they got into rapping and he started doing producing and stuff like that.
Kanye did make a.
He made a huge
I'm
impact.
gonna say, to be fair, like I can't even flex because he was one of the people. He was one of the reasons why I started producing.
Yeah.
But it's like the reason of that is because Kanye, what he was more of like a street smart guy instead of a school smart guy.
Because he was raised around nothing but music. His mother was an English major. His father was always traveling around the world and stuff like that. Like he even the fact that he went to Japan and learned the different instruments that they use, like in some of the songs and stuff like that, and instruments to them like in his earlier works and projects. Like he's been around like music his whole life, so it would be understandable. It would be understandable that he made great music because of that.
Because he focused on it, he was surrounded by all that stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try this out over here. How do you guys feel about?
A little quiet over there.
Somebody that I just thought about was somebody like from in the history. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was the cause of the 19th Amendment, which was Susan B. Anthony. And I forgot what she did, but then it impacts me because that's a Black woman. And Rosa Parks, she ain't give up her seat. That's nothing major.
Susan.
That's kind of
Anthony.
like, you can't lie. You can't lie about
So
that.
Susan B. Anthony was a American social reformer and women's rights activist who played a major role in the women movement. So okay, all right.
Like Rosa Parks, all she did was not give up her seat because
She was tired.
slightly
She was tired.
old in age, and on top of that, she just got off of work. So
Hey,
she won't give
listen.
up her
If
seat
I'm
for
tired,
a
if I'm
young-
tired and old, I'm not giving on my seat either.
Well, at the end of
Right.
the day, back then,
Back
it
then
wasn't a
born
choice. They was born into that mindset.
Like, you
Nowadays,
can't do
you guys, we're born into a more free mindset than back then. So you guys
Pretty
can
much
say that
everything.
now
Yeah,
because you guys
completely.
wasn't born into that. What you saying, Lawrence?
I was saying more free, not completely, but
that. Listen here.
yeah,
Ooh.
for me,
You're not telling lies though.
But then, let me say another thing. The man was younger than her and less tired than her. And plus, she wasn't even sitting in the white section. So why did she have to get up?
Because
That's how it was back in them days.
segregation was like we learned about it. Segregation was very, very huge and a big deal back in the day.
segregation
Early
was
40s through the 60s. If you was Black, you did not have a lot of privileges or
Yeah.
rights.
That is true.
You had none.
I mean, like, yeah, you're right. You didn't really have a lot.
You had no privileges. If
And
you had to pee, you had to literally either go outside and
Or go to a blacks
to
only.
a dirty little shack.
okay, and it's great to hear you guys, go deep into it. Okay, so so Lawrence, what are some African American icons that you like or ones that had an impact on your life?
No anime characters.
I don't know
I'm
any
stumped.
black anime characters.
I'm stumped.
Anywho, for me, I only remember three, which was Martin Luther King, the first black woman to go into space, and the first
Can you say that name again?
Martin Luther King,
Okay.
the first black woman to go into space, and it was something about flying. I think.
No, Tuskegee. Like first, like it was like a fleet of women. I think it was during the war or something like that. That
Okay.
flew like for the America.
I feel
Alright,
bad for
But
what I
that
just said.
proves like
We all have the same mind. We all born with the same 2 feet. We all born with the same assets as the next person. It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
American. So you couldn't do much. So you had to find other ways to break through. Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie
Wait.
to you.
thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I wanted to ask them of like, how did the world see biracial?
Closer to the lighter side, they will see them as a white child, basically.
Days when they like talk about biracial people,
Mhm.
like they look at them as like a trophy
Yeah.
for the conversation. But the moment they talk about someone who's mixed or they're biracial,
TV and stuff.
that's why I was like in
Yeah.
my head. I was thinking, okay, how was it back then? Back in the days, like
Mhm.
a white woman with a black male. Touch of a button, you could just produce a whole entire song,
Yep.
which is
This
I
is
don't-
great.
I do it old school style. So
Okay. So we got two purposes. So do you understand the question now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there is more commercial because, like, nowadays you see people, like, they can get trash at music, but still yet they become popping out of the random blue just because they put out one song to one album.
Treyway.
Some people be
Treyway.
Okay,
some people
keep on
be
going.
like, they just come out of the random blue with some random topic screaming, or some people they sing and whatever.
My question, and okay. So the question is, do you feel like that helps? Like hip hop comes from. Speaking of Black History Month, we had a lot of African Americans that came out from hip hop. You got Run DMC, Funk Master Flex. You got Ice Cube. You got NWA. I don't know if you guys know about these guys,
You
but
gotta mention that dog.
these
Biggie
guys
Smalls.
actually had to go through something to actually get to this point where we are in hip hop today. So do you guys feel like, as the African American community, did it stir away from that, or now is it more mainstream now that it's easy, it's faster, it's more progressive?
Nowadays, they just like, back then it was like you had to work for what you wanted. Nowadays, you just get handed what you want,
Okay.
and then
Wait, we're gonna go around the table. We're gonna go around the table.
That's why I had to stop myself.
Okay, so let's see what Lawrence say. What you say about that, Lawrence?
What was the question?
Did hip hop, did it get better as we got older, or did it get worse?
Oh, way worse.
Why?
Don't-
No, why? No, why would you say way
Why-
worse?
Wait. Why'd you say way worse? What was the reason behind that?
Cause back then, when Kanye was the biggest thing ever on hip hop,
Mention him one
What
more
about
time.
Pharrell?
when
Listen, that
was
man
Kanye
one more
the biggest
time.
thing?
Okay, let's go.
there was a lot of good, influential rap artists and hip hop artists that could really change your life around. But now they're just talking about stuff they did in their life or in jail,
Gang,
other
gang.
stuff like that.
It's straight
But
way.
okay, so all right, to challenge you guys real quick. NWA was the first one that actually made
Gangster rap.
gangster rap. So nowadays, when you actually hear a track from Ice Cube, and these guys straight out of Compton, say this stuff, and you hear it, there's a difference in these two worlds.
There's a
I
difference.
believe
We're gonna go around.
Please,
So
because I've been.
I've been waiting
This
to.
is, you know what I'm saying? This is my topic right here.
okay.
Yours of it.
Whew. I feel like Obama talking about Trump. But anyway,
Let's go. Come on.
me personally, when it comes to how I feel about me, I feel like hip hop back then was a lot more better because back then for that music, you had to not even just for production, for the person who's rapping, you had to really sit there and think about what he said. Like, like my bad for keep referencing him because of someone, Kanye. You back
Say
then-
his name one more time.
Shut up. But back then, when he used to write, when he used to literally rap like he actually had some sense, you had to sit, you had to listen to it. He could say a quick bar, and you had to pause the song and think about like,
Wait.
what did he just say?
Wait.
I
So,
did
well,
that too.
well, I say Lil Wayne the same way.
Lil
He-
Wayne's the same way.
Okay.
And it's like back even Lil Wayne.
I'm a
'cause
G.
just not too
All
long
G's
ago-
moving sound like lasagna. Wait. Come on now, bro. Wait.
Okay. But I really had like then those are things like that's like do you feel like as a well, since we're talking about the top of the music, do you feel like, you know, certain artists like that would go down in the books, you know,
As
for
legends.
being the greats or legends?
Yeah,
and
cause
stuff?
like well, before like I was saying like yeah, hip hop got like well I was saying hip hop did get more progressive cause like now since anybody can become rappers, but it's mostly focused on the producers cause they're the ones that's mixing engineers, making sure the vocals are right and
Come on.
everything.
Come on.
Like if it wasn't really for the producers stuff like that, most of these rappers wouldn't be as everybody now.
Like,
And like with as we said now with the Chris, like what they be written down as yeah, there's a lot of like legendary like rappers right now.
Mhm.
Chief Keef, Lil Wayne, Tupac, Biggie, Kanye
Kanye.
West,
Mhm.
and Ice Cube. Even now, like some rappers now,
you gotta feed that boy
Kendrick, Nas, J. Cole, 21. Like there's rappers who are still bringing that same energy like they did back in the 90s, but they're putting a spin on it. Like they're not only rapping about like what gangs and all that. They're rapping about history and life, what that brings to them, what that meant to them, stuff like that.
And I feel like it's a mentality thing. The younger you
Yeah.
are in the industry, the more you want to
Be outstanding out.
outstanding. You want to be at work, but
Yeah.
as
Same
you
way.
grow, you start to see, you start to see, you know, like what Jay-Z was at now is not what he was at.
Yeah,
Jay Z,
he is
like
flat
Jay Z,
out.
like Jay Z is a prime example. When he was
Exactly.
younger, he used to rap about nothing but selling coke, doing
This
drugs,
and
and all
that.
that.
Now
When he
he
got
talks
older, he
about
started to say, "You
his
need to
life.
invest. You need money and life and family."
And then he
That's it.
started talking about his daughter
So,
and everything.
so
Yeah.
as you grow, you see as time progresses, you get wiser, smarter, and you
Exactly.
be more. But the
And-
ones that
Stay the
don't-
same.
they stay the same.
They stay the
Like,
same,
that's
and
what I'm
his
saying,
life starts to go
like,
off track.
I don't know if anybody ever did hear it. It's like J. Cole's new song, Middle Child.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty
It's
good.
it's a perfect example of this topic because in his perspective, he has the mindset of the older generation. He's moving just like how they used to move. He working hard like how they used to work.
But
hard.
he's
but
with
now
the
he's
young.
the younger generation.
Yeah, he's in between two
He's
generations.
in between two.
yeah.
He said it in the song.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in between two different generations, and
Yeah.
me personally, I think like it got more commercialized. Like back then, for music, you had to like if you want to find a hot brand new track,
You had to
you
go
had
out and find it.
search. You had to find it, or if you're making that music, you gotta put hard
Hey, bro,
work.
check out my mixtape.
Yeah, I'm saying you gotta put hard work in it plus your talent.
Mhm.
Nowadays, you don't even have to have talent or hard work, and yet you could be out there like that.
As
Like,
long
me
as
too.
it's catchy, it has a good beat to
Exactly.
it, you can become
Now,
great.
Like, to be fair, like my homegirl Gabrielle, she sings, a
Mhm.
really good singer. She's a regular female in Michigan. She's about to like
Michigan,
Atlanta Records already want to talk to her, but all she ever did was make one song.
Michigan,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like I think MMA or not
Oh,
MMA, but her,
young and me.
she was discovered from doing covers with her phone on YouTube. And what's his name? He produced Bryson Tiller album.
I know who you're talking about. I
I
forgot
know
his
who you're
name.
talking
The-
about. But I keep forgetting his
Yes,
name.
but he produced Bryson and he discovered her and stuff, and that's how that went about. And you know,
That's the same
so-
thing that's going on.
yeah. So it really depends on the artist, depends on the person. Okay. So next question. So, what are some African American actors or movies
boy,
that
here
you
we go.
guys that really stood out to you
Here we
guys?
go.
Okay. So
Keep
let's
trying
go
to
around the
say
room.
Black
We
Panther.
went this side. Let's go this side. now.
As you can see, I am still alive. I'm kidding.
Stop.
But me personally, I don't even know because there's so many different black actors I can pick from.
Mhm.
But for some reason, and I love him to death, Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel
There's
L.
too many snakes on this.
Jackson.
There's too many snakes on this plane, brother.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says.
Better than Denzel.
They're on par. They're on par. They're on par.
Whoa.
They're on par. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whoa, you must be breathing some type of air. That's
They're
completely different
they're
from
on
mine.
par. What are you talking about?
Okay.
But the reason why I say Samuel is because back then, and the reason why I say him is because you could put him in any movie you want,
Then he'll do it
and
well.
somehow if he fits in so well, like Pulp Fiction.
You look at him in I like him in Django, and the thing is Django in
He's the Uncle. He was the Uncle Ruckus of that
Super
movie.
Uncle
no, in
Ruckus.
Django in Marvels.
Yeah.
That Shield.
You is
So
Nick
you can see
Fury.
the diversity in him. Like
Like
that's
you can
that's
change
really
him
good.
up. Like you can
Yeah.
put him in a comedy movie, he fits.
Yeah.
Action movie, he fits. Thriller, he was
He
in a
fits.
thriller movie when he kidnapped a white girl.
He fits.
Come on.
He fits.
All right, let's jump to this. Let's jump to this side of the room.
Trifling.
What about all right, Lawrence? What's some
What?
African American actors that you felt that was that you liked it or that you felt an impact in the movie industry?
Movie industry. So, movies.
What are those?
You have Eddie Murphy. You have All About the
what's
Benjamins.
that
You
guy
have
from
Ice Cube.
Shawshank
Shawshank Redemption.
prison thing? Yeah.
Ooh, I'm lost.
Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen that.
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman. That's great. He's a great
yeah,
actor.
I love his
Yeah.
narratives.
Just him speaking.
When Morgan Freeman talks.
Just him speaking is great.
Morgan Freeman, man, I haven't seen him in nothing recently.
No,
You don't have
But-
to. He'll still be up.
have
You still be
The
up.
only thing he's done
You know it's
recently
him.
is
Yeah.
he's doing a biography about something about God,
Okay.
and
Isn't he God?
on shut up. he did a biography on Discovery Channel about it, and he made a lot of money from that.
I mean, he does.
Lie.
He just his voice alone makes a lot of money.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman
What
talks.
about you?
He
I
spreads joy.
don't know if these people made an impact, which was I think it's Iceberg, and in the movie Friday.
Ice Cube.
Oh,
Iceberg.
Iceberg.
No.
Iceberg. It
Ice-
be like
Ice-
that
Ice
sometimes.
Cube, Ice
Ice
It
Cube.
be like that
Ice
sometimes.
Cube.
That memory loss.
All right.
Ice Cube.
It be like that sometimes, bro.
Come back to the table. Come back to the table.
Iceberg.
But then
It really do be like that sometimes, though.
No, it's okay. We all
I
made
know,
mistakes.
I'm
Ice
not
Cube.
judging. It's just
All
hard.
right. So what
It's not
about
talking about movie,
Ice
like,
Cube?
so with Friday, those were the most audience movies that I used to watch when I was younger.
Did you
And
do
I
you-
found this,
do you know how much they got paid for that movie?
No, I don't. I
They
don't
got paid
research
$5,000 for that movie.
Oh yeah, fun fact. They couldn't wear.
what?
Oh yeah, fun
They got
fact.
paid
Yeah,
$5,000 for that movie.
and fun fact. They couldn't wear red because they was in the Crip territory.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, guys, shooting
Friday?
back then when you were shooting in Compton, like they really
They really
like,
meant you
making
would
Baby
couldn't wear.
Boy- they
you
had-
couldn't
they
wear certain
really-
colors.
Yeah, that
If
was
you did,
like-
you'll say we get shot up.
I'm telling you this right now. Take this from a guy who went to California himself.
Who was raised in California like myself?
Okay, see, there you go.
You
When I
could.
went, when I went to go visit California, I've been there for a couple of days. There, mind you, there was a couple of times I went to the hood, go hang out with some friends. I kid you not, I only wore black. That is it.
You either wear black or white or something
That's
that's not like.
Because even if your shoelaces have any bit of red or blue, they are coming at you like you just some whack day mama.
Like, what set you from, bro? What set you from,
Wow.
cuz? Like, they will ask you, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I like that movie Friday, they will literally, like, they literally could not wear red no matter what. In all the movies, like, if you watch it thoroughly, like, all they wore was blue or
Yeah.
or something dark.
That's all Craig, he was only wearing blue.
Wow, that's a good fun fact.
True.
Stay away from Bumpton.
Let's continue. What you were
But
saying?
then I found it funny and how retarded Smokey was.
Mm-hmm.
That was funnier.
Okay.
No, listen here. He was my best person ever.
Chris Tucker. Okay.
And the drama that was in that movie.
It was fun.
All right, and that's a crazy. God, think
And
about
then
it.
also that one part when I think it was Smokey when he took a dump.
That-
No,
took a
I
dump in
can't
somebody's.
Oh,
say nothing about that because I've done it before too.
Oh,
Yo,
took a
sick.
dump in
Yo,
someone's
sick.
You
Okay,
uncultured
okay.
swine.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Well,
sick.
all right. We're gonna move to. Let's go, Tiara. Let's
But
go.
one of my like favorite like actors like who made an impact was Gabrielle
Or
Union
movies.
or movies. Gabrielle Union and Tati P Henson.
Yes.
Like those two together, Taraji P
Taraji.
Henson.
My wife, Gabby.
Both of them, Tahaji.
You said
Listen,
Tekashi.
give me the correct name. Give me the correct name, all right?
She said Tekashi.
God.
Someone said Tekashi.
The lady with the P in the middle. The lady with the P in the middle.
All right, to Raji P Henson. Yeah, she
Her
is
and
a
her
icon.
and Gabby together make great movies together. Like they're
What movie was there ever in a movie together?
Yeah, they was in a movie together. There was in How to Think Like a Man, Thing I've Been To, and what other movie was it? Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they were. It's been a minute since I saw Think Like a Man.
No,
Yeah.
they had some amazing actors in that movie.
Yeah, like those,
That was
like
a
that whole
franchise.
cast was great.
Yeah.
Even though there's other great actors. Chris Hart. No, not Chris
Yeah.
Hardwick. Chris Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Chris Hardwick. I'm trying. Is it because there's two other Chris Hardwicks that are also
Yeah.
famous.
Okay.
But Michael B. Jordan. Tyler Perry. His whole Medea thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like
Madea.
Will Smith. Like there's so many great black actors out there who's doing a lot,
Yeah.
and some of them even come from England too, because they also do great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like back in the '90s, how do you guys? Okay, here's another question.
Oh, Cuban Downey Jr.
So guys,
too.
another question. How do you feel about the early '90s as being an African American at that time span? Which none of you guys was born, but from what you've seen from television and then that to the now 2000, mid 2000s
I would
stuff.
say, well, I mean, the way how
He
my
was born in
household was.
pretty much was the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
that's like movies,
We
like Martin,
movies,
the Wayans
Martin, TV
Brothers,
shows, sitcoms,
things
and all
like
that.
that was.
Like back, like that's to me, that's what like
let's
90s.
go around. Let's go around the table with that. Like,
Back then, to me, 90s. I'd rather be in the 90s, honestly. If we had a choice whether to continue how we do it now.
as in, I'm not as in
Oh, my
you're
bad.
being in.
Like what did you think of it? Like compared from this to now,
compared to the TV, the shows,
the fast and all
it's
that
like-
crap now.
Nowadays, it's just
BET.
shenanigans.
Well,
Just
wait,
shenanigans.
well, I don't know if you guys ever saw BET. Like they had an
Of
actual
course.
BET show. I don't know if you guys, but you never saw BET.
106 in
You know,
Park?
Yeah.
106 in Park.
What?
Have
One
you
and
guys
one.
ever saw
I don't
106 in
know.
Park.
1-1.
You guys never saw
Man.
106 in Park?
Yes,
I
with
don't
Bow
know
Wow
that
and what's her
name.
name?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and all
with
that.
Free,
It's Tyrant.
Free and
106 in Park?
Free and Jay.
Listen.
Yeah.
And none
Coming back home from elementary school,
To watch
give me
106
a
in
peanut
Park.
butter and jelly sandwich, sit on the couch, 106 in Park.
106 in Park.
1-1 with what's her name?
101, yeah, the
what's
Wayne
her
brothers.
name?
I'm
Wayne-
like, wow, you
we
guys
are
got
brothers.
really
We're
good
happy
taste.
and we're singing and we're
Have you
colored.
guys never saw the Wayne brothers or the Martin Show?
I probably did.
My Wife and
but you know
Kids?
the name of
My
it.
Wife and Kids was
I've
great.
heard of that, but
Was ahead of his time because there was so many great like fashion like things like the pants to the shirts to the shoes, not just Jordans but like Adidas,
They rock
Vans.
like regular stuff.
They made like overalls, like they made simple things look great
Yeah.
because the way people was thinking about it, they like if we can't afford it, we can just make it ourselves and make it look better.
So, oh man, all I got is pajama pants, leggings,
And some overalls.
Yeah, and
Bet I'm about to make this fashionable.
But do you guys feel like they bringing that back? Because you look
Yeah.
at the hot top fade that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they bring like it's literally history's repeating itself. Everything from the past comes back into the future.
Okay.
I think the same way too, but it's to the fact of where they bring it back, but they're doing it in their type of style. They're changing
Like
it up.
modernizing it,
Yeah.
modernizing it.
How about you guys, Lawrence?
oh, what?
How do you feel about bringing back the '90s?
Bring it back?
Like not just bringing it back, but just the styles that's coming back, the hot top fade and things like that. Like hot top fades, the
Oh,
The freeform dress and all that.
yeah.
I feel like if I answer, you're gonna hate me.
No,
No,
yeah,
we don't
it's
hate.
only your
It's
opinion.
your answer.
I
It's
think
your-
they're freaking disgusting.
Okay, and why is that?
All
I
right.
don't like them.
But you don't like hot top fades or is the
No,
90s period?
It just looks weird to me. I'm used to a normal afro and freaking jacket. I'm not really into that special type of stuff.
Okay.
Understandable.
All right.
It's more
You know,
flashier than now.
You know,
Okay.
fro gang.
It's understandable.
All right. All right, cool. So guys, so now let's talk about some shows that you guys, relate to, like some nice shows that you guys relate to that came up with, like African American shows. Like we mentioned
There's a lot.
Martin,
My wife
know,
and kids.
So what are what's some shows that you guys
Ooh,
grew
See,
up on?
play that game.
Okay,
Family-
let's go around the table.
Bernie Mac.
Alright.
Family Matters.
Family Matters, Bernie Mac show.
Okay.
What was that one? So Stanford and me.
Okay.
Yeah. Stanford and Son.
Stanford and Son. My bad.
Good, good. You know Bill Cosby when he was
The Cosby Show.
Okay.
when he was
cool.
trying to give some sweet potato pops and
Okay. What about over here?
I remember a couple of those shows.
There was so many like good shows. Like, oh yeah, Different World too. A different
Yeah.
world.
Different
Like
World.
that's literally a spinoff of the Cosby Show.
I
'cause
never saw A Different World.
what?
what?
I never saw A
Why?
Different
How?
World.
Could what?
You
Was
get
it
out.
Like you know,
Because-
cause
I
like
really
no,
was
It's in
like,
a different
I-
world.
no, cause a Different World
Thank
it
you.
was
I
a
was in a
spin. A
different
Different
world.
World was a spinoff with the youngest going to the college and her experiencing like every like life and situations and stuff like that. The reason why I think of it as a classic and a GOAT show is because not only did it touch on college and dealing with that, but also dealt with like being a black man and black woman in that time period.
Okay.
Like it's also dealing like relationship, how you dealt with that, friendships and all that. Yo, Martin too and all that stuff.
What,
Like Different World was just a great show period to me.
you know what? You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. Family Matters. It inspired me in one way too. Which is
Don't be
just-
Steve Urkel.
No. Inspired me to be
Family
Steve
Matter
Urkel.
was an icon. Steve Urkel is an icon.
Icon.
He's an
Yeah.
icon.
The reason
You
why I
mean-
say it is because he inspired me to make sure I am the Steve Urkel. Listen, at the end of the day, what happened when it came to
Okay.
the last minute of Family Matters?
Okay.
Oh, he got his girl.
And the question is,
After
guys,
years.
the question is, guys, what makes you when you're so let's go back to the hip hop world in this case. You know what, we have Michael Jackson, you have all these greats, you got, let's just pull out some icons that was great. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson,
Listen, Michael Jackson will forever be the
who was
greatest.
Michael Vick, and these are different.
Kobe.
Why are there so many Michaels?
Who
Michael
knows?
Hughie, thank you.
Kobe.
There's so many Michaels.
I know, greatness. But my thing is just to
Michael
like,
Ford.
you know, what's her name? She passed away. I forgot her name. Whitney Houston.
All of the same.
You know,
age.
so my thing is, what makes a icon? You know, especially in the black community, what makes a
To
icon
me-
do time or the impact that
To
they
me,
cause?
an icon is a little bit
Wait,
of both.
let's go around the room.
Come on, y'all speak too.
What goes around the
I ain't
room?
gonna lie,
Hey.
the way how we talk, we gonna keep carrying on forever.
Yeah.
So let's go around the room. Let's start on this side.
An icon is made by their impact that they make over time. And the stronger your impact is the more that your name lasts as a legacy towards your future kids, your grandkids, and all of that. And I feel like there's a lot of important people that has made a major impact, and some people's lives in one way or another.
Not bad.
Okay.
I agree.
What about you, Lawrence?
What was the question?
Jesus
Are you
Christ.
you ain't on your phone.
I have short-term memory.
Yeah.
Man, not
What's
when
the
it comes to
question?
Smash.
The question was.
I'll get pro on you.
The question was, how do you? The question was impact, like icons. What makes a person an icon? What is it? Time, or is it the impact that they cause? It's it's a
Both, because you need a lot of time to make an impact on the world and to make everyone a better person than they were before.
so Trayvon Martin. He didn't. Was that?
He made
issue?
his
Was
so
that
as himself he didn't make an impact, but it was the community that made the impact for him. Because it was
I was
because
asking that over here. Thank you.
Exactly.
I was asking that over here.
oh my bad, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay. So with that one, how was like since you say time, was the impact of time like what the Trayvon Martin that made an impact, but the short period of time that it did, it was
His ceremonies and all, just because he died.
So do time makes it more of an impact, or do the actual what makes an icon, or do an impact and what they did in the community or in society makes them icon?
He was just an average high school kid who got killed by some white man
Zimmerman.
for the random reason saying, I think he said that.
We was
he
talking
was
about the impact of time
Yeah,
where
the
he
impact
put it.
of
So
He was on-
But then, like, it didn't take
Okay.
much time for him to impact people. Because, like, after his death, that's when everybody was talking about it. and da 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 da.
Okay.
And
All right. Cool. Cool.
now
cool.
it's just
All right. So let's.
memorized.
All right. So let's move to this side. How you guys feel about that?
About Trayvon Martin thing.
No.
Oh.
Just about like becoming like, 'cause we have a lot of great icons
I
in the
say
African American community. Jackie Robinson, Martin Luther King. You know, they made an impact. But do you think do you make time make an impact, or do you think that
I'd say
the actions that they took?
me personally, it has to be the impact, like the things that they've done, because great things come to those who wait, and
Mhm.
it happens to a lot of icons that I love.
Okay.
But the impact that most of them made, it smacked a lot harder than the time that they put into anything. Like for example, of Biggie Smalls.
Okay.
He didn't really put no time. He didn't really care about making music at one point. The only thing he kept doing was selling. That's
Mhm.
all. That was his objective. But the moment he got locked up inside jail, and he was like, okay, I have nothing to do, I'm gonna write. He started writing. Diddy started to notice him. He even heard him freestyle on the streets one time from boredom, and it caught him. He was like, okay, if you could do it here,
You can do it anywhere
you know what I'm saying? If you could spit out here, I want to hear what you gotta say inside of a booth.
with work and time.
His little freestyle, it may have not made an impact to all the other people that heard him, but it made a big impact to Diddy to point him out and grab him like, yo.
So what makes that different from nowadays? Of somebody in here, we have a producer come in and be like, "Wow, you know, I want to sign you because how you're rapping and stuff."
The difference that you do anything, they rather you just say, okay, you sound good. Come on, let's go make a whole album.
Okay.
Back then, it's like, shut up. Back then,
Braggadocious.
What about you?
Now I say it's a little bit of both, because you don't really, because with time, any person can become great in a matter of seconds. Like
Mhm.
you become a guy, you like what Tupac, he became great after his first 3 years. Like he was
Go out like these 6 rings where he still be impactful.
yeah, like
Michael
Jordan,
Jackson, you
I
know, he
mean-
started since he was a baby, you know,
Yeah.
a kid.
like so like time, yeah, time does in fact gives you more ability and stuff like.
Do
do people get known for the impact that they make in the world, or
Yeah.
is it?
No,
so
it was
just to bring
Chief
it, let's
Keef.
bring it to the modern day age now. Do you feel like do you guys
To the fact of where nowadays
Is getting more
you can-
accepted.
you cannot